Good evening everybody and welcome to this first Train Sim 2016 First Look stream. This is the first in a series of streams where we're going to be showing you some of the exciting stuff that's coming in the new Train Sim 2016. Tonight's stream is all about the German BR155. We're going to be doing, as I said, a series of streams covering different locomotives, routes and features in the game and so forth. So what I'd say, if you've got questions, we'd love to hear your questions on the BR155. If you've got questions on other topics, then hold off. There'll be a stream where we can answer those questions and show you all the stuff that you want to know about that. And don't forget also that on Engine Driver you can find answers to a lot of the questions already, and there'll be articles coming in the next few days covering some more topics as well. So there's a lot coming out very soon. Keep an eye on Engine Driver, it's the go-to place for news. So today we are having a look at the BR155 and it's on the Cologne-Koblenz route. I've got a special guest with me today.
Hello there.
This is Peter. Tell us what you do, Peter.
I am the Train Devs team technical designer. I am responsible for the scripting of the trains and signalling systems, as well as the simulation setup for our trains.
Superb. So, what does that mean to the average person who has no idea what this word scripting means?
It means that any functionality that was within the cab, pressing buttons, turning on lights, all of that is done via scripting, which is my job, including the different throttle braking mechanisms and more intricate systems such as PCB.
Okay, so basically it's everything that turns a piece of art into a train.
Yes, essentially.
Okay, so this is the man. This is an important person. So you've worked on, you've been in the company for a while now. What sort of projects have you worked on, and what sort of stands out as being really, really cool?
I've been here for almost a year, so I've had a long time to work on pretty much everything within the last year, from UK, German, and American stuff. The most things that stand out is the German content. So I've worked on a lot more of that than I have anything else.
Right.
So I'm quite familiar with that, including some of the projects, most recently the BR120, the 155, which we're demonstrating, as well as the 185 and the 152. Lots of numbers.
Lots of numbers.
They get a little bit confusing.
Superb. Okay, so I've already had a couple of questions. I'm going to get to those very shortly once we get into the game. Right, so we've heard about a couple of the favourite projects. I'm going to get on with the BR155 here. And what would you say are some of the biggest steps forward on the BR155?
The BR155 has had a lot of time and effort put into it, which you will be able to tell instantly. The biggest advancements is the brand new PCB system, as well as an update to CFA and LZB. The driving system, the semi-automatic tap changer, is another core feature to this unit that will be quite interesting and different from quite a few previous releases. The other features include update to how the pantograph system works.
Okay.
So we've got selectable pantographs, which we have had previously.
Yeah.
As well as the ability to the circuit breaker tripping when the...
Okay, so circuit breakers is something that we've certainly had questions about that on a number of occasions in the past. We're actually delivering circuit breaker functionality. And
yes.
That's really cool. I know I was driving the 155 earlier on today, and let's say the circuit breaker and I became good friends. It's
Yes.
Yeah, well, enough of that. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the BR155 now, and so let me just get that fired up, and then he's my willing driver.
I will be driving
because no one trusts me driving anymore. So let me just get the game all fired up and loading. There you go. A little bit of subliminal advertising just coming up here. It's not very subliminal. So BR155. Are there any wagons or anything else that we can talk about?
Yeah, the BR155 pack itself comes with the Habbins wagon.
Habbins wagon. That's
Yes.
a new wagon, as we've not done one of those before.
I believe it's new. Yes,
Okay.
it's very heavy. I think it's 160 ton. I might be wrong on that. When fully loaded, and the preload consists include a 20 and 40 unit wagon.
Okay.
So it's quite a heavy load.
Super. Okay. What about the rest of Cologne Koblenz? What have we done with the rolling stock on the rest of Cologne Koblenz?
Cologne Koblenz is having a few updates made to it. The rolling stock in particular, including the 146.0, the 146.2, and the 294, if I'm getting that one right. They've all been upgraded to include new version of PZB and LZB system as well. It's kind of gone through a complete overhaul, what with the new systems available.
Okay. And I had a chat with the route team earlier on today, and they said that the route itself fundamentally is the same, but what they've done is a pass over the route and reacted to some of the really great feedback we've had since that route came out. So it's what you've expected plus more. So here we are in the loco. So can you give us a tour? Tell us all about it. I'm
Happy
looking forward to seeing it driven by someone who can actually drive it.
Well, it's always a good start. We'll start with the wipers, because it's raining.
Press the button.
Off to a good start.
My fault.
Try that again. Start with the
You
wipers.
can have a look at the trailer again if you want. Right, wipers. Oh, they're
We have
nice
wipers.
and slow.
Yeah, they're a little
I
bit
like
slow. Give me a sec. There we go. Speed them up.
Okay.
And a bit more. We've got the variable speed wipers.
Mm-hmm.
So we've seen that recently in a few of our releases, including this one.
I think there's a cab control for that in there. Isn't
Yes,
there?
we have cab controls for the wipers down over here. We've got the switch to turn them on and off, and then the other control there
The
to
turny
select
thing.
the speed.
Yeah,
Yeah, the turny thing.
the turny thing. That's a technical term.
It does turn. Should I speed
Okay.
it back up again? Too much rain.
Yes. Let's just have a look around the cab first, so that we can actually just sort of see, get a feel for our for the office, as it were.
A very occupied dashboard.
Let's have a look. Okay, we do seem to have a problem where we're not getting any in-game sounds for some reason. Are you getting
Would
any?
that be because
That's
of that?
because of that. Right. Hopefully you can see, you can hear sound now. Right.
Let's continue our look around the
Let's
cab, shall
continue
we?
our look around the cab.
So there we've got our wiper controls, and we've also got the horn. I can hear that.
Yeah.
Then we've got our brake controls, windows, doors.
Quite a lot of gauges on the back of the desk there, aren't there? So what are the
Along
four
here.
gauges there on the right?
We've got brake pressure gauges here
Right.
to gauge the pressure of the brakes.
Okay. And then we've got the standard tractive effort and speedometer, and the sort of the lights that people expect to see for a PZB and so
Yeah,
forth.
we've got the entire display across there. It's quite standard.
Yeah.
So tractive effort, dynamic brakes, as well as the speedometer. There's also the LZB distance display in the middle there.
Super. Okay. And then over on the left-hand side, these ones are quite important, I think, aren't they? That's what I found out today, anyway.
Over here we have the pantograph
It's the line
Volt.
voltage.
voltometer
Yep.
and our current ammeter.
So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to purposely break it, just so that you can see what happens.
Be interesting.
It'll be interesting. It's not a show with me involved in it if trains don't get broken. So, okay, so have we got any interactive features around the outside of the cab, like do the windows open, I guess?
Yes.
It's a common feature. That
Well, our windows open.
Awesome.
Got windows opening on both sides.
Nice.
So switch to the outside view so you can see that. In one and out the other.
Superb.
And if we switch to the other cab, then we've also got the windows opening here as well. Because if they can open in one, why couldn't they open in the other?
Absolutely. How about lighting?
Lighting, internal or external?
Let's have a look at all of it.
Okay, well, we'll start with the internal. We've got two different instrument lighting systems. We've got the display here for the LZB and dials, which is quite simple. And then we've got lighting for pretty much everything else. All our gauges.
Stunning.
Yeah, nice orange lighting at the back there. Yeah. There's a very glow-in-the-dark looking blue for the controls here. So the lighting for these is all separate, so you can switch them independently as I just showed you there, or you can toggle them both together. Makes it easier if you're frantically finding keys.
Okay, so we've got cab light.
Yes, we have the cab light, which starts on by default.
Okay. So you have to remember to switch it off before you start moving.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, what about exterior lights then?
Exterior.
We should have a look at the exterior while we're out here actually.
Well, here is our exterior. We've got the headlights there, standard headlights and our tail lights, and then the exterior model in general, including our pantographs at the top. Actually, whilst we're out here, I will demonstrate the selectable pantographs as such, and back again.
Nice.
As you can see, we've also got a message box shown at the top corner there to let you know what's happening, give you a bit more information about what's going on.
Okay. Let's have a look at. If we have a look at the wagon actually while we're out here.
Yes.
So this is the It's quite a large wagon, isn't it?
Yeah, surprisingly. But then again, it is supposed to be quite heavy. Right now, I think we're running a consist of what looks like 40 of them. So it's very long.
So one of the really interesting things about this loco is it's got an incredible amount of power, hasn't it?
Yes, it's one of the most powerful locomotives that comes out of Germany. So maximum tractive effort of 480 kilonewtons, which quite a bit higher.
That's quite a lot, isn't it?
Quite a bit higher than most of the German stock that we've definitely produced.
Wow. Okay. So we've had a quick look around. Is it time to get started moving, do we think?
I suppose so.
Yeah? Okay, should we get B and C for switched on?
Right, start with CIFA. Again, we've got the message boxes in the top corner telling you what's going on. And PZB
does a self-test before it starts.
As you can see by the lovely flashing lights and the beeping sounds. But we have all three PCB modes available.
Okay, so I know that's something we get asked about quite a lot.
Got slow freight, got medium freight, and passenger mode. You can cycle through them all. I think for today we will leave it in freight mode.
Okay.
Or better yet, because we've got 40 wagons, slow freight.
Slow freight. So PZB, if you're not familiar with PZB, the different modes essentially set different speed limits through when you get through the different caution signals, and how the safety system limits your maximum speed. So if you're running it's based on how much you can slow down. So if you've got a heavy train and you aren't particularly good at, your train isn't particularly good at braking, then it will, you choose the slow freight option, which limits your maximum speed and also then controls your deceleration up to a stop signal through cautions and so forth. So it all varies what's going on.
Yeah, this PZB system is again new, but It's a continuation on development that we've been working on for the last couple of months, improving what system we already had. The last few German locomotives we have released each of them with a newer version of PCB, resulting in our current and full, or as full as we can, system. So it's as realistic as possible.
Good. Okay. Right, let's get moving.
Well, I'll enable LZB as well, just to demonstrate that we have that. However, because we are not going to be entering any LZB control section, LZB itself will not take in force.
Right.
But it's always good to have it there anyway.
Just to round things off, does this train have AFB?
This train does not have AFB. Pretty sure AFB was not around when this train was first built, back in the early 70s.
Okay. So what is a semi-automatic tapping system?
The semi-automatic tap changer, lovely wheel here. The best way to describe it would be a tap changer system that is semi-automatic.
Oh, I love this. Did you write the manual?
I did actually.
Okay.
So don't rely on it. We'll get started. Wrong way. The brakes are on. That's the wrong button. Off to a good start. There we go, brakes off. Right, shall we?
There we go.
Let's go. It's embarrassing.
It's easy done.
Right, so as you can see here, we've got a little digital display indicating the current tap notch that we are running in. The wheel is set to between 0 and 30 for the required notch, and then it runs up or runs down the tap system to get to the requested notch.
Right, so it's saying tap changer fault.
Yep, off to a fantastic start.
That's fine.
Right.
We wanted to do this anyway, so
yes,
this is fine.
We are intended to demonstrate the errors.
That's fine. So what's happened now is that we were on power, so we had a tap level above 0, and the safety system has fired in the brakes, which has also brought in e-brake. And because we were on power, the circuit's breakers have tripped to stop causing a problem.
Yes. CFR is.
So now what we need
off.
to do is to reset.
In order
before
to,
we can actually apply power anymore.
Yeah. In order to be able to reset from a fault, we have to run the tap back down to 0, which in some cases it automatically does, but the power wheel also needs to be reset to 0, which will then, when they both get to 0, resets, which will then take power again. So I'll try that one again. Now,
I also see there's some lights coming on up in the
yes,
just the grid in the top left corner there.
CFR. Yeah, this display here indicates various errors and situations going on. At the moment, IS indicates a fault with the tap changer.
Okay.
Means that when we get to demonstrating the circuit breaker failure, we'll see that one as well.
Okay. So the other thing I noticed, if you turn the wipers off for a minute, this was quite important. If you go to the left-hand camera, you can operate that lever manually with the wipers.
Yes.
It appealed to me. I don't know why, but I thought that was a really neat touch.
Well, we're still going to wipe wipers.
If it's not raining that hard, it's It's another thing to interact with the cab, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Alright, I'll let you get back in the driver's seat.
Probably the best idea.
Um,
Leave the wipers on.
yeah, so okay, so why don't we stop and show the circuit breaker, and then we can also show more of why those two gauges on the left are important.
Right. Shall I cause a fault to cause us to stop, or shall I stop?
Let's have a fault.
Okay. Best way to do that is to overload the tap change system with the dynamic brake. So, just like that.
Electric brake used whilst tap changing is above 0, and then that's bringing us to a stop.
Yes.
Okay.
So the tap changer system is tied in with the dynamic brake, so that if the electric brake, if the electric brake is used whilst we are in a notch above 0, then it will cause the system to trip,
Okay.
which happens quite a lot.
All right. So really, what that means is that you need to, when you're driving this locomotive, you're going to need to be careful how you manage your controls, because that coming down from 30 it takes 9 seconds, I think, to get to 0.
Yes, it takes just a little over 9 seconds to reach.
So if you imagine that you're wanting to apply the brakes and you're on notch 30, tap 30, you're going to have to wait for that to come down before you apply the brakes, or you're going to get a tap changer fault.
Yeah.
So it means that you've got to think that much further ahead of what's going on. And if you've got a heavy train doing 100 kilometres an hour,
then
that 10 seconds is an awful long distance, isn't it?
It is quite a long time, yeah.
Yeah, so you really need to pay attention. And that sort of is part of the whole extreme nature, I guess, of this loco. It's just that you get these controls wrong, you're not going to be able to finish the scenario to the best of your ability.
It does take a lot of monitoring and making sure you're aware of what's going on, because there are a lot of different things that could go wrong.
Okay, so let's have let's get a circuit fault then, and and we can have a look at why we got that circuit fault using the top left those gauges.
Right. The most fun way to do that is to using the power selector.
So what's the power selector?
The power selector influences the amount of power that is given to the tractive end motors. It can go as low as 50%, which quite low, or go to 130%, which kind of puts a lot more into the motors than what they should be able to handle constantly. So it's not advised to keep it at that level for too long.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So really, when you're accelerating, what that means is that if you've got, say, tap 10, then depending on what the power selector is giving you, you can change how much power is actually, what your acceleration rate effectively is.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Right. So brakes off.
So I've got the power at the moment maxed out.
And if we, actually the tap changer control has other modes or directions.
So we're running up now, so you can see the taps going up at 17, 18, 19. If you now zoom in on the top of those gauges there, bang.
Yeah.
So that right-hand gauge went up, and when it got over 450, we then had a circuit breaker fault. So what this means, practically, will you tell us, what does that mean about how you drive this thing?
Well, if you put too much effort into, or power into the system, then it essentially blows up. Not literally, of course, but what it does is overloads the traction motors, so it strips the circuit breaker, meaning that you have to come to a stop to be able to reset it all before you can take power again.
Right, so we've covered now how you need to watch how you apply the brakes when you've got power on, otherwise you're going to cause a fault and need to bring the train to a stop and cure it. But what this is showing is that then getting back going again, we've all been there, we're in the middle of a scenario, the emergency braker's tripped. Okay, I've been there probably more than most. The emergency braker's tripped, and you're thinking, I'm against the time here, you ram the throttle all the way open, and more often than not, it's fine. With this train, that's not going to fly. You're going to have to ease the taps up. Keep an eye on that. If you want to get the most out of it, you want to ease the taps up, watch that ammeter, and keep adding more power just to keep it below that 400 amp mark so that you don't cause a fault, but still get the most power out of it.
Yeah. So the tap changer itself, you can probably run it to about 20 without causing an issue very much. Anything above that, you need to watch it, especially at lower speeds.
Okay.
But to reset this, you just have to reset the circuit breaker, as it indicates in the top corner there, and then put our wheel back to 0, run back down to tap 0, and then we can go again.
Cool. So it's easy to recover from a lot of these, or from all these faults. They're pretty easy to recover from. But what you'll find is that it's had an impact on your ability to remove the timescales and so forth in the scenario. So it really encourages you to drive correctly, and that's really where a lot of the skill comes in driving these. Right.
I'll take the brakes off, we'll go again.
So one of the other things that we found that's been added into some of these scenarios is, as the scenarios, including scenarios, progress, there comes a point where PZB and CIFA are mandatory. They're actually enforced on as part of the scenario. So your expectations of you as a driver go up as you proceed through the scenarios. And by the time you get to the final scenario, it's tough. Okay. So we've had some questions come in, and I think we should answer some of those.
Okay then.
Okay, so let me have a look at the stuff that's come in at the moment. So someone said, are the sounds provided by VR? That was by OpenRadar 90? Yes. We work very closely with Virtual Railroads on a number of projects, including this one.
Secret ones.
Let's get this one stopped.
Yeah.
Tom Soton's 223, will rail driver controller be supported? That is going to be down to, you need to talk to PI Engineering about that one. Rail driver support has been greatly improved in one of the recent patches, but for specific support with specific hardware, if you talk to PI Engineering about that one, and you can get a more accurate answer on that. Christian 2920, will TS 2016 be better optimised than 2015? Some of the improvements to the routes and to the trains certainly make them run a bit better than they have previously, absolutely. And how many... So, there will be another stream next week, folks, and we'll be looking at additional features. So this is in addition to tomorrow's stream, so there is still a stream tomorrow. So Friday streams are talking about future, the advanced previews for DLC. Thursday streams, we are TS 2016 first looks. So another question in from JW Blogman. I was going to pass this one to you. Does this mean TS 2016 will have random faults?
Yes. There will be random faults, which usually to not be able to drive the trains properly, but read the manual. The manual has everything you need to know about how to drive them to at least avoid most of the faults.
Right. Okay. Right, so I'm going to look over to my able-bodied assistant over there and ask, have we had any more questions, or are we about finished?
Well, there's going to go to questions on various topics. So we'll address those.
Okay. So why don't we just take one more look around the outside and give you a quick summary of what we've got. So this is the BR155. It's a very powerful locomotive. It's a 6-axle electric loco. It comes with the Habbens wagons, which you can see here. And it's very, very detailed indeed, as well as having you've got the common features. The windows do affect the audio as well, so as you're going along at 100 kilometres an hour, you open the windows, you'll have a very noticeable difference in the audio as you're driving along, which is very good as well. You've got really stunning lighting effects in the cab for the instrument lighting there, which obviously you'll notice that even more once you're actually at night. And then you've got the cab light and fully working displays. You've got visors. There's loads of stuff to play with in the cab. It keeps me amused for hours.
The cab is quite interactive.
So the scenarios for this one are for Cologne Koblenz, which has received some minor work, and the locos and rolling stock that come with Cologne Koblenz have also received some work as well. As Peter explained earlier, they've all got the new PZB implementation, and I think they've had physics changes as well.
Yeah, we try to improve on the bits that we may have missed previously.
Yeah, so we tried to listen to a lot of the feedback we've had and react to that. So I think that is pretty much the end of this this first look. We'll be back next week with another first look, and don't forget tomorrow is the advanced preview. But before we go, we do have a giveaway to do. So let me just bring up the technology. So prizes for this giveaway are. Can someone remind me, Steve?
T-shirt.
A T-shirt. We have a new kind of T-shirt. And a steam key for a locomotive of your choice. So we are going to do a giveaway as soon as the giveaway system has connected. And what I'm going to ask you to do is type a keyword into the chat, and you type that keyword in, and then that will enter you. So I'm just waiting for that to connect at the moment, which servers appear to be a little bit busy right now. And once we've done, what we'll do is we'll announce the winners, and then we'll talk to you after the stream via the Twitch messaging inbox and get your prize to you. So just to say that again, the prize is going to be a T-shirt. We've got a new design T-shirt and a steam key for a loco of your choice. Trying to ad-lib a little bit longer here while the system takes, and it keeps saying reconnecting. It's getting there. Okay, so come on.
It's reconnecting.
So when we've been implementing PZB, Steve, or you've been implementing PZB, I'm going to take credit for it now. What makes you think it's right?
Well, it's had a lot of time and effort put into it, but quite a lot of the information that we have had previously or before these incarnations of PZB have been from sources such as Wikipedia or other free media that we haven't been able to verify. But our current version has had a lot of time and information given to us by drivers that actually use these systems on a day-to-day basis.
Some real Deutsche Bahn drivers.
Yes.
And you actually operate as. In fact, I think didn't you tell me earlier that it was actually a 155 driver has actually been.
We do have somebody on our forum that does drive or has driven the 155 itself, so we've got first-hand information.
That's superb. Superb. Okay, so I'm happy to announce that the keyword system, the giveaway system has finally joined. Your keyword is TS2016. Tango Sierra 2016, all in lowercase letters, please. TS2016. If you type that into the chat with no other symbols or anything else around it, that will get you into the giveaway system, and I'll just keep an eye on that now to work out who is in. That's it. So if a few of you have typed it in capital letters or with exclamation mark, please type it lowercase and with no exclamation mark. If you think you got it wrong, don't worry, just type it in again. It doesn't matter if you type it multiple times, but you must type it with lowercase letters and without any exclamation marks or anything. So we've got lots of people coming into the giveaway pool now. So I'm just going to give that a minute or so. I was driving this the 155 earlier on, as I said, and it's so much fun because when you get it right and it's not slamming the brakes on you every 5 minutes. It feels really good, doesn't it?
When you're in a nice open stretch of track where you don't have to worry about much of the signals either. So just as long as you remember to acknowledge the CFRO on every 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's really good, even when you're going through signalling sections, because when you're actually getting it right and the train's keeping going, you feel like you know you're actually the one keeping that train going, it's very rewarding. Okay, so I'm just going to do a countdown. Done the countdown and roll. Robbie NL, you're our first winner. Congratulations. Right, let us go for. Yes, there is a delay on the stream, folks. So don't worry about that. Right, so let me set up another keyword. Give me an idea for a keyword.
BR155.
Good name. I like a lot. BR155, folks, is the keyword. You've heard it here first. Lowercase letters, BR155, and don't do any exclamation marks or anything else. If you type that into the chat, and that will enter you into the asset. We've got people coming in now. Excellent. So we'll give that a minute or so, and then we'll call out another winner. After the stream, or sometime in the next few days, we'll get in touch with the winners via the Twitch messaging system, and we will arrange with you how we get your T-shirt to you and find out what Loco Steam key you would like. So if you keep an eye, if the winners keep an eye on your, so we go into the messaging section under Twitch, and then look in the inbox, or there's another one marked other. If you have that enabled, the message will appear in one of those. Okay. Let's roll that one. SLP for Shady. Thank you very much. You are our second winner. Congratulations. So, with our two winners, so congratulations to Robbie NL and SLP for Shady. That's superb. So, just a reminder then, next stream is tomorrow at 5 p.m. and that's an advanced look. Do we know what that's an advanced look of yet? China clay for export, and you'll see a screenshot of that in just a moment. So tomorrow is an advanced preview of China clay for export, and then next Thursday is the second TS 2016 first look, and we're going to do a series of these first looks covering a wide range of topics. And if you keep your questions stored up, and then in each one you can ask us the question when it's relevant to that particular stream. So yes, timings are BST, British Summer Time. So that's 5 p.m. BST and 7 p.m. on Thursdays for the Thursday 2016 channel. Keep an eye on Facebook and Engine Driver for reminders of the streams, and as I said, Engine Driver is your go-to place for information on TS 2016. There's been a number of articles posted so far, and you can see them collected together on Engine Driver, and there are certainly some more coming out over the next few days which will explain some more things, and I'm certain answer already a number of questions that have been raised. So I think that pretty much brings us to the end of this stream. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you to Peter.
It's been a pleasure.
For taking some time to help us out. And so I think I'm going to leave you with the trailer again, and I will see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. For our advanced preview of China Clay. Thanks very much, everybody.